Hi, it's me. It's almost 2 on Sunday. I got a heck of a week in front of me, and I'm not happy about, I hate looking at the schedule and being, week after week. Sometimes, oh, it's not that bad. Not that bad means I'm still busy. It means, but then it's I don't know, I don't like to have a lot of stuff. The midwife texted me and I want to make sure she knows. My holiday, I don't get a holiday even on Memorial Day. I got to be somewhere. I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? They made it early in the morning. I made a video a few minutes, a couple hours ago, and I was angry at people for let's change this. Okay. I was angry at people for the midwife keeps making these appointments. Wait, did I do it on the right time? The midwife keeps making these appointments, telling me where to meet this person. I don't think I have a choice. I have to go. These appointments, crazy. But anyways, I made a video earlier. I was all riled up about having people trying to scold me for not doing more work and more business, and with relation to finishing my requirements. Why spend thousands of hours studying to be a midwife and thousands of hours and dollars for parking just to not do it? Just oh well, I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm just going to go work as a doctor and I'm going to give up. If it's still my requirements to be at births and at people's house and at office visits 3 or 4 days a week, I have to do it, I don't quit. If I'm 90% done or 70% done, I'm not just gonna quit my requirements, and I still tons of people are over there oh my gosh, that's something in my eye. I'm at a point right now where people will they're you're not doing it. They're oh, I'm retired, or I'm on a fixed income, or I'm on welfare, and I get to play and I go to the dog park and watch my kids' games and take my kids and have people come and spend the night and take them out to dinner, and it's why don't you come? You got to pay for yourself. It's well, I don't have time and I don't have money, and it's I wish I could be like you and be able to have a leisurely life, but it's I haven't been given that option. There's 3 months of my life that I had a leisurely life, and I was living outside and driving back and forth. And I always think, how do I even have drinking waters like that? So I did pray, like I said, asking God to make a yurt around our house, a spiritual yurt, because I think of the yurt with the big padding and the cross thing with the stuff like that, and I'm just sitting here thinking, just there's always people playing on the playground here, there's always people driving here and there, knocking on our door, ringing the doorbell, calling, texting at all hours of the day or night, and I'm just you just want to I'm not the type of person that's just try to set boundaries. What are you doing today? It's with your money, you could just get every dollar you have and just carry around cash and just let it blow in the wind and have some, can I have it? Oh, here. It's I think mentally, if something you can't see might not be as tangible as cash, having it say, hey, it's Sunday, I decided I'm not going to church today. I decided that, also dealing with these headaches and these symptoms from car accident, in order for me to get through a work week and a training week and be able to get up and go to births and deal with doctor's appointments and mandatory doctor's appointments, trying to this and that and this, and trying to build my own business and working with other people's business and volunteering. It's with all this stuff going on, I need some time, some downtime, and I made myself take a nap yesterday And it's like, sometimes I wish, like, I get scared. Like, my mom was able to have days off, and she'd just be, like, in her bathrobe and, like, sitting there, I don't know, sleeping all the time. I don't know, sleeping on the couch. She was kind of sickly, though. But then she'd get up on the morning and be dressed and have her hair done. She would kind of chill. I know, like, some people always say, get up and get dressed, do your hair, do your makeup first thing in the morning. Then you can do your housework. And if you need to run an errand, you're just ready to go. Someone knocks on the door, your house is clean enough to open the door, not hide. And so I'm teetering between, like, right now I'm just like, I've been wearing the same outfit for a few days now. And I changed to go out and come back and put this back on, but I'm not sloppy. That position. Sometimes I'm, like, forcing myself to go on vacation. Most of the time I'm going on vacation, going and even go to someone else's house and be able to relax, or go to a barbecue or something, a picnic where they can just be like, I don't have to clean right now, I don't have to cook right now, I don't have to go drive around right now. And I used to go out of town at least once a year, and I haven't gone in years, and I'm so mad. And my kids want to go to the beach so bad. Like, sometimes I just want to be like, I just send them on a bus and let them go, and I'll stay here. Just my heart breaks. 2, 3, 4 years of my kids' end of their childhood, teenage years. Because it's going to be, sometimes it's like they get too old, like, oh, we don't want to go to the beach with mom, or once they get their own lives and their own college or travel abroad or whatever, they're not going to be there to go. And my heart breaks to think, before when they were little, it's like, you don't have a choice, we're going to a hotel for 2, 3 days, and I'm going to buy you elephant ears, and we're going to play on the carousel, and we're going to get our picture taken, and we're going to go walk up and down the beach, play in the sand, and have swimsuits and play in the water, and we're going to do it. And then it got to be like, okay, we're teens, we just want to play with our device. And then it gets to be like, we really want to go. I'm sorry, honey, I can't go, I'm on call. I'm sorry, honey, I don't have money. I'm sorry, honey, the house is messy, and I've been so overwhelmed. I have money, and I have time, but the house is messy, and my inspection, so I can't go. Like, passion having to turn them down. And in the reality of it, I can't even go for a day. I've considered going for a day when the midwife goes out of town, but I'm like, I've had a hard time. I can't even drive 45 minutes out of town without stopping on the way back, taking a nap in the rest area. I get to where I'm spread so thin and so exhausted that coming like 4 miles home from work sometimes is just like, pinch yourself, roll the window open, and I normally don't eat chocolate after 6 and eat chocolate just to go 4 miles because I'm so exhausted. And it's like I don't know if I can handle the 100 miles back in one day just because of fatigue. I'm really having a hard time. Like, sometimes I wonder if I was like my mom, isolated a little bit and not around any family, and being like, okay, it's the end, it's the vacation, I'm just gonna stay home and watch movies, a couple phone calls to relatives out of town, like, and not have to worry about, like, people ringing your doorbell or doing this or telling you you're bad because you're not getting sucked into some crooked business. And where I live, I'm not used to being in the city and being so close, having balls hit the house numerous times, and having people sending texts 6 times in a row when you're on the phone with an important call, and then saying, why are you ignoring my message? It's like, because people want it to be 24/7 access, People want you to answer. They don't even care about email. Email is only pretty much for business or advertising, but it's like, they want you to answer text. They want you to get on. They see you're on Facebook and you're not calling them. Our long-lost relative unfriended me on Facebook because they saw that I was active on Facebook and that I wouldn't call them. They demand I call them right then, and I said no, I wasn't going to call them. And they unfriended me right away. And I was like, fine, if that's the way you're going to be. And I was like, I'm sitting here, and my friend, I've had some issues and some times where, under poor circumstances, I just was spread so thin that I couldn't even think during a test. I could barely get there, and I didn't do as well. You know, even studying the weekend before with someone over the phone quizzing me on everything, and I knew everything, and then we get to the test, it's just like, either I had food allergy, or someone kept me up all night, or I was sick. I've had some close calls, and it's like, some of those close calls are not intentional, or there's no choice, like, I could have chosen to go to the doctor and get a doctor's note, but some of them are like, oh, let me decide to be on the phone with a relative for 3 hours instead of studying. You know, every minute counts. You know, walking out to the car, still looking at the notes, and then I was passing and doing well, or doing, you know, sometimes you have so few questions, you would get 3 wrong, and still get like a 90 something. You could get 5 wrong and end up with a 70. Like, sometimes it's like a matter of a few points. And if you were to get 5 wrong and you got a 70, they might need a 75 or 80 to pass. If you got only 3 wrong, you could still get a 90 and get honors. It's like a very fine line between pass and fail in some of your classes. So this lady, and it's like, I'm sitting here with these books, and every like 4 minutes, I read or put the phone in a computer already on Facebook. I don't log off, shut the page on. Just moving your mouse in that page makes you look active. The green light comes on, and you're just like, a split second, look at this, and go back to studying. So this person's seeing me online, and they're just like, if you can be on Facebook, then you can talk to me. It's like, how do you know that I'm not sitting in class? The teacher's like, hold on a second while I get this video started. Sometimes you just click on Facebook. Oh, I got 30 seconds to click on Facebook. You know, or sometimes you're at work, you're like, oh, shoot, someone was supposed to send me a message. Let me check Facebook like, I'm walking back from my break. Let me just check it real fast on my phone. Then it shows you're active. And it's like, okay, they didn't message me yet. It was very important that I was supposed to meet them, but they need to tell me what time. I have to go there after work, or they need to give me their address. And it's like, you're not necessarily sitting there like, oh, my kids are in school the whole day to sit in Facebook messaging, soap opera, and whatever those shows are called. Stupid talk shows, or I don't even know if this come on anymore. It's like, I wish I could be the type of person I think I am, but it's like, well, if I'm not working at school, I'm not getting, and they see active on Facebook. It could have been that I clicked on it, like I said, during my break 15 minutes ago, it's still showing me active, you know, or the device, who knows what's going on with the device, if the screensaver's on, I don't know what the device, if I don't log off and shut the page, I don't know what this machine is doing with me not looking. I have to say it. I could have been at church for Pete's sakes or something. I'm not going to be like, you're active, call me right now. I'm not going to just pick up the phone and start talking in a quiet place. It's ridiculous. Or sometimes I'm at conferences and stuff, and you just check stuff, you're multitasking or changing speakers. It's not appropriate time to talk on the phone. It's not even really appropriate time to respond. But yeah, sometimes people send. I did some fasting against. I was doing a Daniel's fast 3 weeks at church. Everyone said I was cheating because I already eat all the Daniel fast foods. So I was cutting out chocolate and Facebook. But I was realizing that people are using Facebook for business and for urgent things, or they're contacting people for, like, important things on Facebook, and you're like, oh my gosh, like, if I had gone off for 3 weeks, I would have missed this. And some people don't have a phone number, or they lose their phone, or their battery died, you know, for whatever reason. So I kind of wish that I did fast from it. And sometimes I'm thinking that if I wasn't fasting, it's like, it's one of those things where I feel like, one of those things where I feel like we can, like, just now I went into Facebook and was like, oh, does anyone have anything interesting? And I see some things where I learn stuff, or, you know, doctors are putting things that I'm like, it's just like, kind of tickle a reminder, tickling the mind, and I'm just like, at this point where it then becomes overstimulated, and it's like, everyone's showing their Mother's Day gifts, everyone's showing their partners, everyone's showing their partners, making it, showing them at multi-generation with grandma and their mom and their kids out at restaurants, Olive Garden or whatever, and I'm just like, wow, like I don't know what that feels like. There's a point in time, 15, 20 years ago, where we did do some Sunday brunches for Mama. Even Dad did all that. Like, there was some period of time where I was a child of the Mama, and my dad would do this, and I miss it. I miss going to the Holiday Inn restaurant and getting stuff and being able to go to the gift shop, and look at the pretty stuff in the glass cabinet. Like, I miss having the Sunday Mother's Day brunch, and it's like I don't have the money for that. Even Thanksgiving, once I went to a hotel because my daughter or my son was desperately needing a companion animal, and we wanted to be there, and that was the only weekend I could go, and we went to a hotel, and we didn't have any food, no money for Thanksgiving dinner. And we found out there was a Thanksgiving next door, like a brunch, and I at the last minute that he would pay for us to eat there, but it's like, I don't know, I didn't even call to see if there was any openings. I didn't want to deal with, my kids aren't used to restaurants, my kids aren't used to fancy food, my kids aren't used to getting a plate of food and having to eat it. Because if it's a buffet, I don't know if they necessarily like, oh, this food is on my plate, can I take it home? It's like, my kids are used to, like, eating small meals, and so it was kind of irritating. It was kind of like, I didn't want to go and spend $200 on 3 dinners, and I have $2, like, if we would have been able to buy a turkey or even go to the deli and get, like, a couple deli foods, like a couple deli plates for 3 people or 3 or 4 people plus leftovers, I would have done that. But it's hard when it's, oh, last minute you're out of town, let's do this. Oh, when she I got a couple salads and like a bunless hamburger, and that was what I ate. And my kids got chicken nuggets and hamburger or whatever. We were going to go to Dairy Queen, and they were closed because it was a holiday, and I was like, if I would have spent $200 at a hotel or at a restaurant where the kids might not eat, I was like, I could go buy $200 to grocery. Like, it's hard when my friend was homeless and she couldn't pay rent, and her mom was like, I'm going to give you money, but it's only to get your hair bleached. You can't use that money. It's like, well, I go around with my hair all done up and everything from the beauty salon, but I'm going to be sleeping outside because I have no rent. Like, sometimes you're just like, forget it. It's like, I am desperate to be able to do this. And it was a real medical, like, I did clinic makeup shifts all that week, and then the next day we went out of town, and I spent a lot of money on the hotel and for a couple of days, and we planned on getting this dog. I sacrificed save for the dog, and then they decided not to sell us the dog, and I ended up buying him a computer instead, and I feel sick to my stomach because we had our hearts set on this dog. I cried and cried and cried. This lady was such a jerk. And then she sold all the other dogs in the litter except for one, and I called about that last one. She goes, no worry, I'm not going to sell it. And then I called, and oh, that dog is gone too. And I was like, okay. And I was like, God is meant not to be. So I just have a hard time on holidays. I have a hard time, like, who cares about what someone on YouTube is doing? Who cares what someone's posting on Facebook? And it's like, new mamas, old mamas, they're all going out to eat. They're all getting lots of gifts and cards and new clothes, and they got all these people with them. And I'm just like, well, I played a board game with my son today, and my daughter made a card. And I talked to Dad, and he sent out some flowers. That's a big deal for me. And I feel like a brat because I didn't give anyone anything else. And all I could think is, when it's a holiday and other people, like, because I'm not with a midwife, I'm not taking a class, I'm not at a conference, I'm like, I need to clean the house, I need to do dishes, I need to do laundry, I gotta get ready for work, I gotta get my kids ready, I gotta finish school, I gotta do this. I just am like, well, it's a holiday, I'm a mom, I had to work. And in the back of my head, I'm like, I wish I could live here with a tray and watch old 80s movies and have them bring me grapes and lemonade and cut fruit and go to the health food store and get me my favorite snacks. Like, that's what I wish I could do, but it's like, if I'm laid there from being injured and stuff and sick, it gets to the point nobody actually brings anything. And then I lose so much energy from not eating that it's like, oh well, I make myself food right now. I'm not gonna have the energy to get up. I'll be crawling down to the kitchen getting some grapes and it's like. And you were mentioning about food. Like a lot of times I wasn't even going to the store. From work and training, I wasn't going to the store because I didn't have the energy to get the groceries. I didn't have the energy to carry my personal bag. I don't leave in the car into the store. That was like one big reason. Now I have a little bit of energy. I'm good with the heat and everything, but even especially at the auto, I couldn't carry stuff. I was like, oh my god. I'm going to. I have a. I have a book here that is vibrator massage. I got a book that has oh, it's my doula training book, and we never read this during class. We weren't required to read it. We should have. We read some of it, I'll say that. $20 to $40 per hour for doula work. There's a lot of proprietorship. Anybody should keep it out low for public inspection. I felt the urge to read some of this book. It's hundreds of pages. They charge us $7 for this book. I felt like 372 pages. We didn't read it. We read some of it. Service detail 2 prenatal care, in-home visits, assistance with birth plan if desired. Oh my gosh. I don't know. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get off here. I wanted to do that whole thing where I sit and watch old movies while I drink lemonade and eat fruit and have some get my favorite health foods from the health food store. Also, they would help me pay for it, but that's not happening right now, so I'm just sitting here. I need to eat my grapes, I'll tell you that, and my cantaloupe before it goes bad. I'm sitting here thinking that, and I felt like my inner feeling is I gotta work on my business cards and my flyers, because just like being fat, it's like you need to lose weight, you're fat, you need to do this, you need to exercise, you need to diet, I was like, I'm doing that, and it's like, I know in my heart, it's like, I need to less stress, I need to get 8 hours of sleep at night, I need to, like, dialed out. Even your posture, if you have good posture, your core gets strengthened and your belly stops flopping over, it's like, even, it's like, in my heart I know this, but someone else tell me this, but then they're telling you you're fat, you're lousy, you can't do anything right, and then you feel like depressed, you have no energy, you're like, I can't do anything now, I can't clean, I can't, it feels like that with business. It's like, you don't do this, why don't you earn any money, you're stuck, like, you must not be a good doctor, you don't have any patients, what's your problem, it's your personal problem, and it's like, I am not going and chaining people, or handcuffing people, and driving them, being like, get in my van, you're gonna be my patient now. It's up to them to call me. It's up to them to give me money. It's up to them to be like, do you take this insurance? I'm like, no, not right now, but come to a 15-minute consult, and I will sign up for your insurance. Like, I'm not in control of other people hire me. If I open a store, I'm not making people come into my store. I'm not forcing them off the street at gunpoint. And so it hurts my heart. It's like, oh, it must be me. I don't know how to do anything right. And That's how I feel right now, and I know in my heart it's like I was told that the money for my building that I was going to lease was going to be covered by a family member, and that I haven't seen a penny of the money, and I can't go sign a lease. I can't take money that I need to pay my rent with and go put it down on a business that have to pay. You know, it might need some reorganizing, redecorating, or remodeling. There might be plumbing issue. I might need to put a sink in it. I am at a place where I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place where I don't know how to I can't jeopardize not having enough money for rent and not having enough money for car in order to go lease a business. I need to take care of my family's housing first, and then figure out how to come up with some cash to do. I can't just, they don't just let you, as far as I know, let me know if I'm wrong, they don't let you just go and be like, I'm going to lease this building, but I won't pay you for 6 months until actually I start making some money. Maybe they will, but I'm sure I would need to be on the phone with someone now, because that place is not going to last very long. Like, I've almost seen some buildings around that are huge, look like from the 50s, and I do a storage closet because I need a storage closet. I would pay like $150 a month for use of electricity and phone, or not phone, but sink and bathroom for my clients and myself. And I will like clean it, I will paint it, I will install flooring and whatever in return for having a low rent in a place that sometimes it looks like it's not being used. Like, I know people that have huge houses that's not being used. So that's where I am right now. I just wanted to say that. I'm gonna read this a little bit, and I'm gonna read this a little bit. I have so many ideas about business, but I have no shop. If I have a shop, I will give you a picture. You'll be the first to know. I feel concerned because I have these businesses and I have these ideas, but I don't have the startup cost. I'm straight up broke. And I called the bank several times asking to borrow money. I started to borrow money to pay for my classes. If I would at least been able to pay for my classes, I wouldn't be so broke. But like I said, I can't sacrifice my rent. Like, it's like gambling. You can't be like, take your rent check and your bills and go to gambling and hope, after this run that I'm gonna be double my money. It's like you gotta pay your rent, you gotta pay your car, you gotta pay your bills, your utilities, and your phone, or they're cut out. You're gonna have nothing. And how will I take a shower and go to work if I'm living inside? Like, I need a boost, and my heart, I need a boost. And I've been given some opportunity to work in someone else's clinic, but I haven't had any patients, and I don't know how long they're going to tolerate that. And the hours haven't been working for me, and I could make them work better, but at the beginning of the week, when my kid has to be at school, I need to take, it's like you got so many chances they could go, and I can't skip my paying job to work. So it's a mess. So I'm going to pray right now. I feel like I know a lot of people in business. I know people that, even people sell the essential oils, and people that do all this other stuff, and somehow they make it happen. Somehow they live in large, huge 5-bedroom houses. Like, I don't know how people are doing it. I'm not, and I'm having a real hard time. Even if we were getting child support, I'm making a very, very low income for my education and my needs. Like, even getting my certificates and my all the stuff I need for medicine. It's costing me thousands of dollars just to be certified, just to be legitimately insured, just to have the correct license and all the fees and applications. Tried to sign up to do Medicare last night. It's like a $500-600 fee for application. I'm like, try to do DEA number, $750 fee. And I'm like, I have no patience, so I'm not gonna keep sacrificing to help somebody that doesn't exist. But at the same time, if you're set up and that person contacts you, can say, yes, I will take you. Yes, I'll take your insurance. Yes, I can prescribe this medication. And so I'm still stuck in between a rock and a hard place. So I wanted to give you another video. Just now I ate some salad and some food and got some lemonade and some cocoa, and I feel a little better. Fed my kid and feel a little bit better. I feel like the day is almost over. I didn't go deliver that gift. I didn't get dressed. I was going to clean the car and vacuum and do this, and one kid is asleep and the other one is awake. And there's something weird on my foot. I hope it's not like be scraping from my shoe, but I don't. It's like I'm not gonna let anyone massage my feet. I'm scared. I'm scared of massage places too. By the way, I was reading about people who do nails and feet, and someone had gloves on because their hands were covered in black warts, and I was like, oh my gosh. I mean, that's real. Like you. A lot of people have warts and foot fungus, and if you have to deal with that, it's being exposed to on a daily basis. Like, you're very vulnerable to get and you be vulnerable to passing it to people too. Like, I'm kind of nervous about. I don't know. I mean, I know some of it is immune system, but immune system or no immune system, you won't get an infectious disease if you're not exposed to it. Like, if you have no immune system, you're not exposed to it, you won't get it. It's like, if you have a great immune system and you get exposed to it, you get bombarded with it, you're going to persevere. I see a butterfly over there. I see something like super far away from here. It's like a quarter of a mile away. It looked like a little white moth butterfly. I'm gonna pray about my businesses. I'm needing to kind of break free from some people. People are lying and saying, I'm gonna help you with this, and they don't, or we're gonna do this in the afternoon and then they want to do it in the morning. Like, if people keep on lying and making stuff up, like, maybe I'm being too sensitive, maybe I'm being too, like, to the book. And I've probably changed over the years as far as, like, I don't know, my mom always kind of like, okay, you're gonna go to your friends at this house, I'm gonna drop you off and pick you up at this time. It was just like, to the book. And whatever happens between those times is whatever. But, and it's like, you come home and take a shower because people smoke, you smell like smoke, blah, 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 blah. It reminds me of something I don't want to talk about. But, say happy Mother's Day! I was like thinking something my mom said to me when I was a teenager, and I was like, slightly strange answer that I get. I don't want to talk about it. But yeah, I'm going to tell you all week long, my heart was broken. I wanted to do art. I have those art supplies. My daughter won't let me use hers. She doesn't want me to mess them up, so she told me which ones to get for myself. I promised to do a project 2 years ago from this doctor, and I'm like totally like, I'm totally like so mad. I'm so mad that I'm not doing what I was trying to do, and I'm so mad that I feel it's like I've done this before where I had a 3-day weekend. This is when I was in school. I had more like regular weekends when I wasn't doing birthing work. I had a 3-day weekend, and I'd be like, I'm just gonna focus on family. I'm gonna pray. I'm gonna clean. I'm gonna rest as needed. I know it's a few jobs. I wait for the Holy Spirit to tell me what to do when. And usually by the hours I would go to the store or something. I just couldn't deal with being locked in this house and having this disorganization and not talking to any adults and trying to talk to people on the phone or something, and they'd be really negative, toxic people, and I out over me. I think so, a lot of times my life and my ex-husband used to be like, oh, you have like a cloud on you. Like, you're always negative. Can't you just have fun? But I realized, like, dealing with toxic people, even if it's like you have a heart and compassion and you're optimistic, I think the more you're around certain toxic people, the more that it's just like despair. Like, it's just like it feeds off of that. Like, it like causes a good person to turn like evil, you know, or causes someone who's very optimistic to be pessimistic, or, you know. And so I'm learning that I've had one person and I'm grateful. Like, this person is making you crazy. You need to not be around that person. Like, when that person talks to you and bothers you, you are like someone that I can't be around, because it's like, and if I were better capable of controlling how it affects me, I would probably be able to be around. But they're like, this person is so toxic that it's really messing with you as a person. Like, you're a lovable, kind. When you're messes with you, it really throws you off. And I had someone admit that to me. Even if I like shared something for 5 minutes, they can just sense it. It's just like discomfort. And the same with my kids, they're very sensitive. So I'm saying this out loud as far as being like, do I hang out with nobody or hang out with these toxic people? It's like, the more you hang out with these toxic people, the more you become like them, the more that other people don't want to be around. So it's like, at least if I'm by myself and I'm doing my work and I'm with my kids and I'm praying about stuff and I'm taking care of cleaning up my side of the street, I feel like then you can contact people. You get a clear enough mind to be like, oh wait, I'm part of society, let me contact this person. Maybe they want to go hiking, maybe they want to do this. And then it gets to a point where it's like, you meet healthy people, healthy relationships, and it's like you had to get over next mountain, you know. It's like, if I keep staying with these toxic people, it's like I keep going back for more abuse in our life. Giving a day yelling at me about how the city is set up and how business is set up. I was like, they've never lived in this town. I'm dealing with people and society and being in the city and, you know, types of how things are run here in 2015. I'm in the midst of that. I'm not isolated in a small town and, you know, having memories of what it was like 50 years ago. Yeah, it's like things were different. There was also more women at work or at home with kids 50 years ago. There was also different things with births. Like, things were different. They would knock people out, you know, and the baby would be born. Like, there's like things are different and it's not the same. Some things are consistent, but it's like, I don't want to be yelled at because I'm telling the truth about what I know about society. I'm not saying I know everything, but it's like, I know what I know from my point of view and from my experience. And I hate, it's like if I were to go outside right now and say this happened earlier. One of my tomato plants in a pot had ladybug on the rim. If I were to get on the phone outside and saw a ladybug with black spots on the rim of my tomato or my strawberry plant, and this person would be like, no, you didn't. There's no way. That's not how it is. That's not how it is. It's only May 10th. And it's like, that was my experience. My experience was to go out. I could even take a picture of it. My experience is like, you don't know everything. You think you know. That wasn't even a ladybug. That was and then I get to be like, it's like, yeah, you might be older than me. You might be someone that was waiting for respect. But it's like, why can't I tell you my point of view from when I went outside my front door or my back door that I saw a ladybug and I saw a big scary spider web? Why do you have to tell me I'm wrong and that I'm making stuff up when that was my experience? Your experience is maybe it's freezing cold where you live and there's no ladybugs, but where I am, it was sweating. I was 75 this morning when I woke up in the house. So I'm going to read these pages. I'm going to mark some of these pages with the sticky notes. It's 300 pages long. I'm allowing myself to do that. I'm going to have some organizing my files. I had just taken stacks of paper and binded them, and they're not necessarily, like, in any type of order. So I'm going to do that right now. And I had my other thumb drive, and I swore I lost it. Like, I don't know where it is, so God bless.